Morning, I hope you're all well. I'm really excited for today on this fine, cold, frosty Saturday morning. I'm off to town and going to the Doughnuts shop, which is actually opening over in Lincoln today. And it is about 20 to 8. I'm picking up Mum. She kind of reluctantly wants to go. So we're both going and we're going in on opening and get me some donuts. Also this afternoon, after that, we'll be going over to Retford. Ryan Terry is doing a free seminar Q&A session over at his gym, celebrating 10 years with USN. So we'll be heading over this afternoon, so it's going to be a quite busy day. So come with us on this journey. I'm gonna get me some donuts. Let's have a bit of a cheat. You're probably wondering why I'm actually wanting to go and get a donut when my channel is trying to be based about being health and fitness. I say it's lifestyle and it's balance. You can have what you like, you can enjoy some of the foods that are a bit naughty, you can have a drink. It's just moderation and taking it into account. If you are the majority of the time good and treat yourself occasionally, it ain't gonna hurt. It's a good job Christmas isn't around every single day though. I might be a bit awkward, because I do love this time of year and I like the food. Is that a donut?
She must have only been out 5 days and came back in today.
Oh, I've got home now and they are here. One of these boxes have to go to the sister-in-law, but she might get a little nibble in them. That's the thing. Right, the grand unveiling. Let me at it. Let me at it. Oh, you dirty mofo. Oh. I have the Snicker and the Ferrero Rocher. The taste test is going to come. I can't wait to get in these. Ooh. Ooh. Right, I'm chopping these in half, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, are we fighting for the Ferrero Rocher? I'm going to chop even that in half. Chopping it in half.
Let's take it off. It's not placed on the half point, is it?
No, I'm taking it off separately. This is trying to be fair here, isn't it? Chopping a Ferrero Rocher in half.
Just give it to me.
Oh, I'm salivating. Oh, lovely, lovely, lovely. I love it. Right, I'm going for it. I don't know which one I want. Okay, Ferrero Rocher going in. Babe, it's horrible. It's absolutely disgusting. That's the Ferrero Rocher. That is lovely. No, I mean, it's rubbish. Beautiful.
You've travelled from quite far, so huge thank you to you all for being here. For those who don't know me, I'm Ryan Terry. I'm an IFBB Pro in the men's physique division. I've been sponsored by USN now for 10 years. This is my 10th year, so this is like a little mini celebration of that. So as you can see, there's a massive cake there, Reese's pieces I'm led to believe inside. So make sure before we leave, get a slice of that. Right.
I've been taking good nutrition. You're smashing cake.
Yeah, it's winter, getting into Christmas. So just a bit about me. So what I'm going to do today, I think, is tell you my journey so far. Dave's going to say a little bit as well. Dave's a training partner of mine. How long have you been training together?
Since 2010, mate.
Okay, so yeah, maybe 10
Too
years.
long.
Nearly. Too long. He's 4 times Mr. Universe, so That's that kid
I
there.
used to actually be known as 4 times Mr. Universe, double world champion, but now I'm known as Ryan's training partner.
Yeah, but like I say, easier to answer some questions as well. So I'm going to tell you a bit about myself, and then we'll go straight into a Q&A session, because I've found in the past it seems to be a bit more flowing if we do it that way, and then at least you can ask the questions you're here for. So I started training when I was 14. Before, all right, lads. You're late. No.
20 push-ups.
Yeah, so basically I was a very sporty kid. My sports were gymnastics, swimming and football. That's obviously where my core came into play, and that's how I developed my core, through gymnastics. When I was 14, I got quite a serious injury to my Achilles, nearly snapped it, and I got placed in pot in order to get them recovered. Still quite a greedy kid, I gained quite a lot of weight, and that's when I developed a slight complex, self-confidence issues, and my way of getting back into sports was to hit the gym. So that's when I was 14. My stepdad at the time was Mr. England, Andy, yeah, so big guy, big bodybuilding. He introduced me straight into this world, and before I knew it, I was hooked on. Obviously, I saw the changes quite quickly, and that's when I really got into bodybuilding. That was my hobby. I quit playing golf, quit gymnastics, quit football, and swimming. I just wanted to focus on bodybuilding. Again, the competitive edge of me still wanted to see how far I could go and to push against people. I had the likes of Dave and whatnot pushing me, but there was never really a class I could fit into, because I was never big enough for a bodybuilder. We sat down and talked, all three of us sat down and talked about maybe doing classic physique, and that's not the classic physique we all know now. That was back in the day, it was more bodybuilding,
Yeah,
it was
classic
smaller.
bodybuilding,
So I started to work towards that, and it was only came about. I was still working in construction. I was a plumber, working on site, quite long days, getting my nutrition in, doing my cardio before I got on site, training quite late at night after work. I'd be running to the van every few hours just trying to get my protein shake in, or taking my meals under the floorboards with me when I was soldering pipes. It was just a way of whatever. I wanted to get my meals in, I wanted to make it work. And then I got to the age of 20, and basically it was a weird way, but I entered a male beauty pageant. Yeah, I don't know, but I entered a beauty pageant, and I won Mr. Great Britain, and then I went on to win Miss International. So I represented Great Britain in Indonesia, and it was like a 4-week competition against 41 countries, and it was like you had to learn that their martial arts, mixed martial arts, you had to fight each other. And it was brilliant. It was more to it than just saving the world and all that kind of stuff.
Just to interject and all, I didn't get any stick at all for training with a male beauty to those
So yeah, that was it. So I basically got sponsored. That's when you were sending up to me and wanted to do stuff with me. And again, I felt like I wanted to be in physique, so I wanted to keep growing, keep sculpting. But my work was in commercial modelling, so it was a more TV work, advert work, and a lot in Asia. And it got to a point where it was either I stick the size I am and go down the commercial route, or I follow my passion, try and grow, try and sculpt my physique, and look to going on stage. And at that time, as I was making that decision, men's physique came about. And that was my way. Felt like it was a calling. I thought, this is a way of introducing myself into the bodybuilding world. It's a way of growing into each class. Obviously, I wanted to get bigger and bigger and bigger. So I started in men's physique. Unbeknown to me, I thought, right, I'm going to pick a local show to me so I can go and have a look at it and whatnot. And it was my first ever show was the UK Nationals, which was in Leamington Spa. So it was the closest regional show to me. Started dieting, you knew about it and Dan did, but no one else did, because I just wanted to keep it quiet just in case I backed out or something like that. And at the time I didn't realise, but Rob Richards, don't know if anyone's heard of him, he was like the golden boy. He was world number one, Optimum Nutrition's top boy before Steve Cook. And he announced he was coming back from America to take over England, and that is
how he put it as well.
It was, wasn't it? It was. He was my idol. His midsection was the one I had on my poster, Muscle and Fitness, which I wanted. When I was doing my abs every night, sit-ups, he was the guy I wanted to mimic. So I thought, what better way than instead of queuing at an expo for 3 hours to get a picture with him, what better way than compete against him and be on stage with him? So I didn't really expect much from that show, but I was very fortunate enough to win that show. So that catapulted my career quite drastically, really. So it took me straight to the Arnold Classic. 3 months later, I'm on the Arnold Classic stage, and I was very fortunate because there was 110 in my class, which at the time they didn't have height classes, so it was literally all of us on one stage. Whereas now, obviously, there's all different height classes. There's still 30, 40 in a class, but 110, you can imagine fighting for that stage was.
See, this is where we're at a difference. Ryan thinks that he was genuinely fortunate today. It was his second show. Basically, because I was competing at the same heavyweight, and I was sat backstage with him, and everybody that walked past Ryan was like going, "Oh, look at this guy! Look at that guy! He's literally trying to get out of the back door."
Yeah,
I was like sat there going, "Mate, you're going to win this. Not only are you going to win your class, but I think you're going to win the overall as well." And like, "No, don't shut."
But I remember because there was a 5-hour registration. The queue was huge, 110 people. We're in this queue, and I remember these lads were built like big shit out, you know, in the vest and stuff, veins popping everywhere. I was just stood there. I've just won a male beauty pageant. Like, why the hell? Right here, I shouldn't be doing this. And I was trying to back out of it. Thankfully, you obviously calmed me down. But at the time, which was a freaky coincidence, but as I'm backstage pumping up, someone texted me and said to me, "Whatever you do, don't tense hard, don't do this, don't do that." I was like, "Why?" And they said, the head judge, because it was brand new, men's physique was brand new, the head judge got my front cover out, which was out that month, which was Muscle Fitness, and was going, "This guy is too hard, he's not good for men's physique. It's, if anyone comes out looking like this, do not let him win, but obviously mark him down. It's too muscular for men's physique." So I'm thinking, shit, like, I'm going out stage in this. But fortunately enough, they didn't put 2 and 2 together, and I won that. So a week later, went on to the British finals, won the British finals, so the first guy to win the Arnold and the men's physique British finals. First pro from the UK. And then it was one of those things that, right, I need to set new goals. We sat down, put the vision board up there, which I've signed every year since. And it was like, right, I need to get to the Olympia. My goal is to be on the Olympia stage. So I just thought, if anyone else can do it, I can do it. So we started working towards it. Went straight into my first show, and I got a rude awakening. I was dead last. They didn't even mark me. And it was, went and asked for feedback, and they was like, "We don't want this over here." So I knew I was up against it. I knew I had to prove myself over there. And I wasn't just going to be coming in for one show. I had to, basically,
it's almost like familiarising yourself
time,
out there again. It's a different market.
Yeah, and they were huge. They were
just make no mistake. You shouldn't have not placed at that show. Actually, I can say that to you because I've not with BBA. So but he should have placed at that show, but it was a case of getting his name out there, which is a hard thing to do.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I hate to admit that, but it is about, and that's why I always say to up and coming pros who've just got the pro cards and stuff, don't get disheartened. Like, it shouldn't be like this, but it is, unfortunately. It's just putting your name out there, because although the IFBB Pro League is a federation, it's a business as well. So they don't want to be promoting this guy who comes in once a year, wins a title, fucks off, basically. They want you there showing commitment and stuff. So I kind of get it, but it should really be about your physique as well. So I had to go back to the drawing board, and obviously it's very expensive for a European to keep travelling to America and stuff, but we saved up again and went for the Pittsburgh Pro, and the reason for that was Jim Magnion's personal show. Jim Magnion's the only Olympian. I thought, right, I need to get in front of this guy to show him who I am and stuff, and to try and get my name out there. I was fortunate enough to win that, which qualified me for the Olympia, which was surreal, so surreal for that. I went on a week later, won the Atlanta Pro, and I realised that's what it was about. It was just showing up at shows and making sure they could see I'm not just here for one show. Went into the Olympia, placed 4th in my first Olympia, so I was really happy with that. As soon as I got back, I thinking, right, can't wait for next year now what we're going to do. Arnold Classic, so a year later we won the Arnold Classic as a pro, then came second in the Olympia. Had a little setback. I moved to America, me and Amy moved to America thinking that was the missing part. I was second in the world, Arnold Classic champion. I was being told I had to be in America, so I moved over there thinking that was going to be the final nail in the coffin for everyone else, but it didn't work out that way. I underestimated how hard it was to move over there 12 weeks before the Olympia, the temperature was unbelievable. My body's used to cold weather, so trying to diet in that heat was incredible. I couldn't get pumps, I was sweating constantly, my natural salts were there, so I was having to put electrolytes in, extra salt into my diet, and I was on my own. It was only me and Amy trying to find a car, a house, a gym to train out of. So really, I didn't do my homework, and it served me right. I came sixth. So that's when I thought, right, move back here, come back to what we know. We've trained together all my life. We've trained 17 years. These guys over 10 years together. Out the same, I got rid of my sponsors. I wanted to cook my own food again. I got lazy. I got sponsors who were doing things for me. I thought, no, I need to get back in the trenches and get back to work. So yeah, fortunate enough, came back, got third. Had a few injuries since then, 2 hip surgeries this year, and I placed 5th this year. So for me, a lot of people said, oh, you should have done better and whatnot. I'm happy to tell. I'm not happy because obviously I'm a competitor and I want to be first, but with the year I've had, and obviously with the wedding, the house build, 2 surgeries, quite a lot of things prepping for the Olympics, I was happy to walk away with top 5 in the world. But that being said, I now need to really seriously put my sights on 2020. Try and get that first place where I've saved the gold marker pen for that. And
It's the only place you've got left to get.
Yeah, 6th, 5th, 4th, 3rd, 2nd. So yeah, so that's my story anyway so far.